guys, it's Heather with Makeup by Heather B. I am so excited to share this tutorial with you guys. So many of you have asked me to do a tutorial on brows, and I want to introduce you to someone really special. This is my good friend Shantae, and she is a brow expert. And so I want to just kind of turn it over to her so she can share a little bit of her background, and then we're going to do a tutorial as well.
Thank you so much for having me, Heather. I'm so excited to be here today. A little bit of background on my brow expertise. I've been doing eyebrows for 11 years. I was trained by Anastasia herself and worked for Nordstrom for like 7.5 years. And now I own Beauty Lounge here in Denver.
So Shantae is amazing at what she does. She actually sees about 30 to 40 clients a day. Is that correct?
30, okay. Yeah.
And so for those of you who are not able to come to Beauty Lounge, make an appointment to get your eyebrows done, we wanted to share some tips and tricks for you that you can do when you're either getting your eyebrows waxed or when you're filling them in. So all the time my clients will say, I never fill in my brows. I don't know why I need to. I feel like a clown when I fill them in. And so Shantae, tell us a little bit about why brows are so important.
Brows are so important. They frame your entire face. They actually say that you're more recognizable by your eyebrows than your eyes.
Oh.
Yeah.
And they also say the eyebrows are the window to the soul. So put some killer curtains on those windows.
Exactly.
Okay, but in all seriousness, I wanted Shantae to kind of show you guys on camera here where your brows should start, where your arch is, and all that good stuff.
Okay, so when you're going to get your brows waxed, or if you're doing them at home, I'm going to show you guys on Heather. So inner corner of the nostril, so where that crease is in your nose, straight up, that's where your brows should begin. So if you're at home trying to tweeze your own eyebrows just in the middle, you can take a pencil or a brush or whatever, put it in that crease, and straight up from there is where you want your brows to begin, okay? Okay, they should end outer corner of the nostril, corner of the eye. So if you want to take a brush, put it right at that outer corner of the nostril, corner of your eye, that's where your brows should end. And then your natural arch is tip of your nose over the iris of your eye. That's where your natural arch is. And actually, Heather, lift up your eyebrow. So if you lift it up just a little bit, you'll see, if you're at home and you just lift up those brows just a tiny bit, that's where your natural arch should be. It's not up here, okay? It's over here. Got makeup on your nose, sorry.
So Shantae waxes my brows. So if you're in my videos and you're watching, you're like, her brows are amazing. It's thanks to her. All right, so I'm gonna have a little confession time right now. Shantae knows my past, but I was one of those girls that would go to the nail salon and just say, can I get my eyebrows waxed? Because it's easy, it's inexpensive, and it was just kind of convenient. But then when I started seeing Shantae, I realized, whoa, this is so much bigger than just going somewhere and just letting anybody touch your eyebrows. If you haven't heard the saying, I need to trust you like I trust my eyebrow lady, that is the truth. So with that being said, if you're someone who's just gone random places to get your brows done and they've either over waxed or over plucked you, Shantae, I wanted to ask you, like, what are some things that women can do to help their brows come back alive?
So I would recommend put down the tweezers, grow your eyebrows back in. The fuller natural eyebrow makes you look younger, which we all want. We all want to look younger. If you're somebody who has over tweezed or had your brows over waxed, a product I recommend that I think works really good, it's called Revita Brow. And this is awesome. You just want to put it on every night before you go to bed on a clean face. And it actually conditions the brows you already have. So you want to put it on from here all the way over. You can put it on the brows that you already have. Okay. And it's not going to grow brows where you didn't have hair. So don't worry about that. And the active ingredient, it has proteins in it that stimulate your hair follicle.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So this typically takes about 4 to 6 weeks to start working. But this is my favorite product to grow eyebrows back.
Oh, awesome. So if you are someone who's fallen to the over tweezing or whatnot, you can still come back.
Yes.
All right, so next question would be for all of our blondes out there, maybe more natural blondes, because no matter what you think, this is not natural. But like my mom, for example, she has super blonde hair and as well as super blonde eyebrows. So when she fills them in, she has a hard time with them looking natural and not colored in. So what would you recommend to clients that have maybe more fair skin or fair hair? Just lighter complexion overall, and maybe that have really thin eyebrows that want to look fuller but not look overdone.
Okay. So for natural blondes and light hair, I recommend a tinted eyebrow gel. It's gonna just cover the hair that you have, just make it look a little bit darker. So for blondes, you wanna go 1 to 2 shades darker than your natural hair color. So don't be scared to put a little bit of color. You know, you don't want dark brown eyebrows, but you do want a little bit of color. They make some great products for blondes. Anastasia makes a golden blonde that I really like. It's a little bit warmer. I also love this tinted brow gel. This is one of them. I think, you know, MAC makes one, Bobbi Brown makes one. I know Heather's talked about a few different brands in her videos. This one in particular is another Anastasia product. This one's caramel, and I like this one best. You just pull it out. You want to wipe a little of that excess product off, and you want to just brush it into your eyebrow. It's going to make it look like you have some brows, but not being too dark.
And that's probably good for the clients that have like those crazy hairs going every which direction, right? Because it gets them kind of going the same way.
Also for blondes, I'd recommend getting your brows tinted. You want to go somewhere that you trust, you know, a reputable salon or brow place, but don't be scared of getting them tinted. That makes it so you wake up with eyebrows and you don't have to have makeup on.
Okay, so my next question is, I sometimes get those eyebrow
We all
blah, blah, blah. Okay, so my next question is, sometimes I get those eyebrow hairs that go all rogue on me and they go crazy, or my husband will be like, my eyebrows are getting really long, can you trim them? And I sometimes have been known to put a little hole in there. So what would you recommend to women that want to trim their brows, or even their husband's brows at home?
That's a great question, Heather. Trimming at home is definitely something you can do. You just have to do it the right way. Okay? I recommend just some small scissors, some small scissors. And you want like a spoolie brush like this. This one is a nice pink one. Okay. And the trick is, I'm going to demonstrate on Heather. Hers are already trimmed, but
I just got them done.
All right, so what you want to do is brush all of your eyebrows up, and anything sticking out is what we're going to trim. And you can always go back and trim more. Less is more. So start out with just a little bit. So pull this all up. Now I recommend with the scissors, you always want to angle them. You never want to cut straight across. That's when you're going to get a hole in your eyebrows. So when you're doing the right one, you're going to angle like down towards the nose like this. And then when you're doing the right side, you're going to angle, you can either angle also down towards the nose, or you can angle up towards your hairline. Never go straight across. This is when you're going to cut a hole in your eyebrow. You also can put your finger on your eyebrow like this, so that way you're not going to cut a hole in your eyebrow. And you're just going to trim these hairs that are sticking out up here like that. Okay?
Yeah. Okay, so last but not least, I do have some clients that are just like, I have no shape to my eyebrows. I have no idea how to fill them in. What would you recommend for someone that literally just has no idea and feels like they've watched tutorials, they've watched different people fill them in, and they still can't get it on their own? What do you recommend?
I recommend some stencils. That's going to be the easiest thing to help you look like you have some eyebrows if you're that person that just literally has hardly anything and no shape. Anastasia sells her stencils. You can buy them at Nordstrom, Sephora, Dillard's, Ulta. They come in 6 different shapes. And basically, you want to start it at that inner corner of the nostril like we talked about. If you want to make those lines on yourself, the inner corner of the nostril, outer corner of the nostril, corner of the eye. And then you can figure out which stencil you are. Heather's a high arch, so I'm going to show you guys on her. So you want to take, these stencils have these little lines on them, and you want to just start it right at that inner corner of the nostril, just like that. And you're going to fit most of your natural eyebrow in there, just like this. If you're someone who has like very thin eyebrows, you're going to use something more like a petite arch or a slim high arch. It's just a smaller stencil, and you're gonna not look, you don't, if you're stenciling them on, you don't want to look like all eyebrow. We've all seen those girls that look
so the stencil necessarily isn't, you would take a pencil and fill it all in. Exactly. It's just more of a guide.
Yes, exactly. And you can use it to help yourself just clean up a little bit at home as well. So everyone says to me, you know, it's really hard to hold these yourself when you're looking in the mirror. So what I recommend, a lot of people try to do this peace sign and hold it like this on themselves. Well, you can't see what you're doing. You're blocking your eye, okay? So I like pinky pointer finger like this. Put it on, come up above and hold it pinky pointer finger, just like this, okay? I'm doing it on Heather, which kind of feels weird. I can show you on myself too. So you can come up like that. That way you can see in the mirror and you can take your brush or your pencil or whatever and fill it in. So you can see what you're doing. Then you just want to flip the stencil over to the other side, just like that. Pinky pointer finger. If you're right-handed, you're obviously going to hold it with your left hand, so that way your right hand is free to fill in.
Amazing. So stencils. Stencils are a huge help. So if you're someone that has problems filling in your brows, or if you feel like you don't have brows, definitely go get those stencils. They'll really help. So stencils are an amazing tool if you're someone that struggles with your brows. All right, so Shantae, I hear that you have a nice, fun little tutorial for us.
I do. And if you're looking for a person in your area to get your brows shaped properly, check out your local Nordstrom store. They're all Anastasia trained and they do a great job. And they're all sanitary, which is a huge deal.
That is a huge deal. And if you're in the Denver area, come see Shantae. She's the best at Beauty Lounge. And take 2. It usually takes us 2 or 3 times, I feel like. Okay, so my next question is, I sometimes get those eyebrow...
We all
blah, blah, blah.